reckon you be one of them dragons then?
Yeah, name's Spyro.
Never thought I'd see one. You dragons used to rule this entire world, you know? Then all of a sudden you left. Poof!
You know what? There's something to be said about when you find a game and when you play a video game. Case in point is Spyro the Reignited Trilogy, which I reviewed in 2018 when it came out for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. And I did enjoy the game. I just looked at my review again. I did enjoy the game. I had lots of great things to say about it. But one of the things that I kind of doubled down on is that there have been lots of other third-person action-adventure platformers that have superseded the value of something like Spyro the Reignited Trilogy. And I had just come off of playing Insomniac's incredible Spider-Man, and I was sort of connecting the dots that I was playing classic Insomniac titles where they didn't have the chops that they acquired over the years to make a game like Spider-Man. And so I was impressed by the incredible work that Toys for Bob had done in the remastering process of bringing these classic games to kind of modern times. But I wasn't that blown away by the gameplay because it felt a little creaky, a little dated to me.
Sure.
Flash forward a year later, and Spyro the Reignited Trilogy is out now for the Nintendo Switch, and it's also out for PC. I was a little too hard on it last year.
Jerk.
First of all, they did a fantastic job porting this to the Nintendo Switch. Yes, you're going to lose some of the shiny gloss. It doesn't look as pretty as it does, especially on a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X, but it is a great-looking game, and Toys for Bob did some fantastic work with, updating all of the core visuals and rounding the edges and adding lots of great special effects. They remastered music. They added new voiceovers and things like that into the production.
I see you've been busy rescuing dragons.
And so overall, the production is really snappy and flashy. Every spark from a fairy that saves a checkpoint for Spyro. The idle animations where you see enemies just bonking themselves with hammers and things like that. Cracking open a little baby dragon egg, and the baby comes out and it waves at you and smiles. I've actually found a little baby ruby dragon, which was really cute.
Ooh, hi.
It's adorable in its aesthetic power, the animations, the voiceovers, the cut sequences, the cool music, all of it sort of ties together, and it plays like a cartoon, which is the intention of these Spyro games from way back when. That's what Insomniac was shooting for, and they got that back then, and certainly Toys for Bob cranked all the dials and pulled all the levers and did all of the remastering magic that you would want.
You bet!
Now, my big bone of contention with playing Spyro again last year was that I felt like the mechanics were a little dated, and I was doing these circuitous routes, jumping on ledges and learning new abilities like being able to swim and float and stuff. I dug it, but I wasn't blown away.
No thanks. See ya!
I don't know what happened, but I played it again on the Nintendo Switch. And I played it this time with my 5-year-old nephew. Last year I played it with my 6-year-old daughter, Ruby. She's 7 now. But this year I played it with my 5-year-old nephew, Jackson, sitting beside me. And he was laughing at every joke, which made me laugh. He was laughing at all the characters, and he was smiling all the way through. And there was this infectious kind of quality. And I don't know if it's a subtle age difference or if after coming off this wave of games like FIFA and PES and Dragon Quest and played a game called Warsaw, I've just been inundated with all of these sort of bigger types of experiences or darker types of experiences. So I loved jumping back into Spyro. There was just this effortless joy being in this world. The first game is kind of simplistic in its tone. It was introducing the character and introducing the mission structure and all the portals that you would warp to different levels, and you would free dragons. The second game, you're helping out little villagers and finding little totems and fighting all of these chiseled warriors, literally chiseled out of wood, and they'll come chasing after you, and you got to burn them up. You're also introduced to a whole bunch of new characters and the ability to swim, whereas in the first game you couldn't swim. And in the third game, you're like literally doing everything. You're on skateboards, you're swimming, you're floating and hovering and flying and burning, and you're also switching characters. You're playing as this awesome little kangaroo named Sheila.
Hiya, Sheila.
There's just an abundance of character, an abundance of great little details and widgets, and it's, I don't know what it is, man. Sometimes you just go back and you appreciate a game a lot more, but to see that through line from the first Spyro game to the third Spyro game, at the time Insomniac was releasing these every consecutive year, so they were cranking them out, and they were making these games so damn polished and so filled with lots of great little details, which of course Toys for Bob seized on and made them flourish. So now I want to go back and play the game in its highest fidelity because I have it on PlayStation 4 Pro. I'd like to see it again all in 4K.
Yeah, come on, let's go!
I can't lie, it looks fantastic on the Switch. Looks great on the television on the Switch. It looks great in portable mode, as you would imagine. And I would expect that the PC game would outshine them all if you have the right horsepower. This is kind of a glorious little collection. I still don't know if I like it more than the Crash Bandicoot collection, because that was excellent as well. I'm just glad that Activision did this. They spent the extra time and the extra money and the resources. And the other great thing that I applaud this for is that you get the whole thing. You know, there's no like little extra, you can download this later for this surcharge. You know, there's none of that stuff in there, which I'm really grateful for. It's a gift to longtime PlayStation owners, Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy, and also Crash. They're gifts to longtime PlayStation fans, you know, people that were there at the beginning for the PlayStation 1 and found these characters back then.
Hey, that was great!
They're also, and I'm looping the Crash collection in here too, they're a treat to share with younger people, and you can show them some classic style 3D game design in both of the titles, but also what it means to put a fresh coat of paint and a fresh coat of polish on some classic stuff like this. So there's a educational value there as well. Most importantly, you're just going to have a big, big smile on your face, and if you share this with other people, they're going to have a big smile as well. Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy, these games are terrific. And man, they fit the Switch perfectly. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.